hello. Come on, Funhouse. Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Adventures with Parker. Today is day 4 of CoasterCon, and we are at a brand new park today. This is Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. And I mean, like all the parks on this trip, this is a new park for me, and I'm really excited to check out everything that this park has to offer, because not only do they have the coasters and the rides like every other Six Flags park out there, but they also have some animal experiences as well. I'm especially excited for today because we're going to be doing some behind the scenes tours. I'm signed up for a Joker Look Walk, as well as the a shark behind the scenes tour. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting day. I am already kind of overwhelmed. We had a bit of a chaotic start to the day getting here because the park is an hour away from our hotel, unlike California's Great America, which is only 5 minutes down the road. But we're here, we made it. We're going to ride some coasters, have a good time with our ace friends. So without any further ado, let the Six Flags Discovery Kingdom adventures begin. Right, tour number 2 of the day, and we are walking back to the shark exhibit to get a little behind the scenes look at all of the sharkies.
He's the oldest member in moving here. He's over 45 years old. That allow them to pull water in, push it over their gills to help them breathe. Yeah, so we're going to go upstairs.
Alrighty, so we just did the shark tour. It was kind of cool because we got to see the exhibits that the regular guests would see, but then we got to go behind the scenes. And I wasn't able to film for any of those parts, but we basically went up to the upper levels where we got to see where they do the feedings and all of the animal care, you know, kind of above the tanks. And we got to chat with the animal care people and talk about, you know, how they feed the sharks, how they clean the tanks, how they care for the sharks if there's any health issues, and we got to ask questions, and we learned a lot about the sharks there. And that's really cool, because I mean, I am a biologist by trade, except my field is working with birds. So I'm a movement ecologist who looks at bird migration. So marine ecology is kind of a side of things that I don't know too much about, but it has always fascinated me. So I'm really, really happy that I got to have that little educational experience today. But now the park is finally open, which means we get to go and experience some rides. So we are trying to find our way to Sidewinder Safari, which is, I believe, the park's newest coaster. It just opened within the past couple of years. It's their spinning coaster. So yeah, I'm ready to get some credits. How'd you like the Shark Tour, Cody?
That's pretty cool, actually. Never went behind the scenes before. Kind of cool to see it from above.
Yeah, get some insider knowledge here. Sidewinder Safari is a sneaky little Snek because it started out being just a very boring ride. I mean, the layout, if you've ever done any of these Prologue Wild Mouse, other than the one at Cedar Point, obviously, it's all the exact same. And it's just, you know, you're going back and forth. It's fine. Then we hit the point where the spinning unlocks, and this has to be one of the most intense spinning coasters I've done in a hot minute. I just kept going and going and going, and I don't normally get dizzy on these spinning coasters. We got dizzy. It was good.
It was good.
Quentin, what would you say about your safari on Sidewinder Safari?
I will say that was quite an interesting experience because at first it wasn't really doing anything. I'm just like, this sucks. But eventually start spinning more, and then it was some air time.
Yeah!
It caught me by surprise.
For sure. I gotta get an angle here. Alrighty, it is time for lunch, and once again we are getting a catered meal, and this time it's gonna be over here at the Picnic Groves.
So they do about once a week. So she'll get like a small rat.
And then she'll get water. The only thing they have is water.
Yes, yeah.
But they can survive without eating.
Yeah. So kind of general rule is a snake can eat anything that's smaller than the biggest part of their body. So she can eat any kind of rodent or small mammal lips.
Are they usually like frozen or alive?
So we do frozen here, frozen thawed. And that's just for like safety for them because any live prey could actually hurt the animal too. So we don't do any live prey.
But they don't bite the same.
Definitely not. The animal trainers say that it feels like a really high grade donut.
Oh. So unfortunately, it looks like there's a lot of rides that are going to be down today. One of them is Kong, the Vekoma SLC. And of course, I've done these kind of rides before, but it would still suck if I missed out on the credit. Then again, I'm not complaining too much. These rides are so rough, and I feel like Kong is among the worst of them. So I just did Cobra, which is the park's Tivoli coaster, like the ones with the super ridiculously long trains. And it was fun. Those rides are just always, I don't know, there's something about them that's just very charming and very just, they're just fun. Like, obviously they're not going to be super thrilling. They're meant for kids and families, but yeah, they're adorable rides. And I always have to do them when they're in a park like this. So glad I got to do this one. Although it did break down on us right before we got on. I don't know what the issue was, but yeah, they just had a bit of a delay. But long story short, we got on. It was fine. We made it work. I just did the Whitewater Safari, which I did as part of the Rapids Enthusiast Meetup. So we have a bunch of meetups throughout Con. So I already joined for the Pride Meetup. I did the Young Adult Meetup, the Canadian Meetup. So we, you know, group together, snap a photo, ride a ride, and of course we had to do the rapids here. And it was a good one. It got here pretty wet. There were some pretty intense rapids. There were 2 waterfalls, and there's even a bit of light theming. Like there was a tunnel. There was a point where you saw a little tiger figurine on the side, so it was pretty fun. And that's the thing about Con. I just love getting to meet these people who share these passions, and you can just ride rides and nerd out together. So yeah, that was awesome. So one thing I will say about my visit today is that I really haven't been able to get on a lot of coasters. A lot of the rides are only running one train, which means lines are getting super long. A lot of the rides are going down. And I mean, we can't get on Boomerang, Flash, or Kong at all today. Those are completely down, so there's no chance of getting those credits. So it's been a little tough. You know, I've only gotten on 2 coasters today. I would have loved to have done more by this point, but you know what? It's been all right because I've just been going with the flow, hanging out with different groups of friends, and just taking in the charm and atmosphere of the park. Because that is one place where Six Flags Discovery Kingdom seems to excel. They have a lot of animals, they have a lot of cute little, you know, areas with flowers and trees and lookout points. So I'm really treating it more as a day in a zoo or a botanical garden more than a day at a theme park. And I know that later tonight when we have our ERT, I'm going to be able to get all my credits and I'm going to be able to do my coasters then. So I don't really mind that I'm not getting them now. And you know what? I'm due for a chill day. It has been so busy the past 3 days here at CoasterCon that it's kind of nice to just take things easy and yeah, just, you know, wander around, see where the day takes me. So although it sucks that I'm not getting on a lot of rides, it's been all right. Speaking of which, I'm now in the part of the park where all the animals are, and I believe I am coming across the tiger exhibit, which should be pretty cool. And see, that's the thing about this park. I think if you come in and treat it as a coaster park, you're going to end up being disappointed because honestly, it's not it. But if you are going to come and enjoy the other aspects that this place has to offer, I think you're going to gain a little more of an appreciation for it. Like I said, it is beautiful and there's so much that the park offers beyond the rides. So yeah, just keep an open mind when you come. That's the best advice I can offer.
I don't want that. Sometimes he chases us. Sometimes.
Fair enough.
He's a cat.
Whoa, timber. Whoa, timber.
Oh my god!
Whoa, timber. Okay, another new fun CoasterCon experience is that we are going to be getting our very own private sea lion show. And I mean, the park normally does sea lion shows for the public, but we CoasterCon attendees get our very own. So it should be pretty cool. And then I think there's going to be presentations with the park president and all that jazz afterwards. Alright, I'm here with Tyra and it's almost time for ERT, so we're gonna hop in line for Superman Ultimate Flight. Are you excited? Hello world, yes! Oh my gosh, I haven't done any coasters today except for the two I did earlier, so I guess I've done 2 coasters, but it's not enough! Hi, Quentin. So, it's been a while since I've done a ride today, but we finally got on Superman Ultimate Flight, and that was worth the wait. I mean, I've done these Skyrocket 2s before, but never one that just uses the lap bar. Every other one I've done uses comfort collars, and this one kind of freaked me out, not gonna lie. It was a bit much.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was so much fun though. Oh man, I'm glad I finally got that credit in. And now, it's ERT, the park is closed, which means we get to go on and get our other credits. So we are going to be heading over to Batman next. And then after that, I really want to prioritize Joker and Medusa, since those are the 2 really unique coasters here. A lot of the coasters here are clones that you can find in other Six Flags parks, and I mean, just in other parks in general. So yeah, we're just gonna do Batman for this right here, and I think the line's gonna be a little shorter, and then we'll see where we go from there. Alright, we just did Batman the Ride, the park's SNS 40 free spin. These rides are so much fun. What did you think of it, Tyra?
I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, they are freaky because they're so unpredictable, so I was like screaming and laughing the whole time, but it is just so much fun. I love these so much. I don't get the hate that people give them. People, if you don't like these free spins, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. They are so much fun. I know Burke likes these too. So yeah, glad we got to do this. Next up, it is time to do the park's RMC coaster, the Joker. And of course we got a lift walk on this earlier, but now it's finally time to ride it. I've been eyeing down this ride all day, so we're long overdue for this. Oh, hello. Come on, Funhouse. All right, we are burning through the credits now. I'm so happy. I was honestly so worried with how this evening would turn out, but we just got off of Joker, the park's RMC hybrid coaster, and it was all right. Like, it's a fun ride. I mean, you can't go wrong with an RMC, but I think this is definitely the weakest of the RMCs that I've done so far. Nothing against the ride. It was just super smooth, but it wasn't, you know, as aggressive as some of the other coasters that I'm used to. Although it did have some good airtime moments, again, not as strong as I was expecting. So still a valid ride. Like I said, never met a bad RMC, but relatively speaking, this is towards the bottom tier, at least in my opinion. Some people might like it more, especially if you're looking for a smoother, less intense ride. Then maybe it's for you, but yeah, I do like more aggressive experiences.
Welcome back.
All right, just got off of Medusa, which was very tall for a floorless coaster. That was very surprising, and it had a decent mix of elements. I especially loved the 0G roll into the Sea Serpent roll, and the drop off the mid-course was quite jarring, more so than I was expecting, at least in the back row. I don't know how any of the other rows would feel, but it was kind of slow for me. It was very smooth, so I guess that's good. But yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I'm just finding the coasters are not delivering, and I don't know why that is, but it's a little disappointing. Like, they're not bad rides by any means, but I don't know, they're just not as good as I would have expected them to be. And that's all I can say. And I think that's the last credit I'm going to get today. There is a chance for me to get the kitty credit, Roadrunner Express, but I think I'm gonna skip that one because I'd rather do the Joker again, or, you know, one of the big thrill rides. And I also promised some other friends I'd meet up with them, and it's getting close to the end of the night, so yeah, I gotta do what I can when I can. And that's going to do it for our day at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Overall, I have really mixed feelings about this park, and quite honestly, it was the worst park of the trip. And that's not to say that it's a bad park per se, because the foundation is definitely there. There are some decent rides, the animal component is really cool, but the operations really bring it down. I mean, a third of the park's roller coasters were closed. Like you saw, during regular park hours, I was only able to do 2 coasters for the entire day. I wasn't able to get to the other 4 until after the park was closed for ERT, and even then, I only really got to do each coaster once. After I met up with my other friends, Medusa was the only ride I got to do again. But of course, not all was bad. The morning started out really strong, especially with that lift hill tour on the Joker. That was so cool, and if you haven't seen that video yet, go back and watch that because it was a great experience and I got some really awesome visuals of the park. And then to follow that up right away with the shark tour, that was really cool, and that definitely appealed to the biologist in me. And yeah, like, this park has the potential to be one of my favorites in the chain. It just needs to improve upon its operations, and then it's there. Anyways, the thing that I didn't include in this vlog was the sea lion show that we got, which was quickly followed up by a chat with the park president. So that's going to be coming up in the next video that I release in a few days or whenever I get around to it. And then after that, we are hitting up the final park of the CoasterCon leg of the trip, and that is Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. So if you don't want to miss that or any of my other future videos, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification icon. That way you won't miss out on any of my future videos. You can also find me on social media. I'm at ADVParker on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky, and at Adventures with Parker on TikTok and Facebook. As always, big shout out to my Patreon supporters for everything that you do for the channel. I really couldn't do what I do without you guys, so I appreciate you so much. And if you're interested in supporting the channel for as little as $2 a month in exchange for some sweet perks and bonus content, head on over to patreon.com/ADVParker to learn more. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, the adventures are calling. Bye! It was a good one. It got you pretty wet. There's some good, big rapids portions. I almost have friend ADHD. I'm like, I want to be with this person. I also want to hang out with this person.
Ooh, there's a car.